So in this video, I'm going to show you how to start inking everything. You have already placed your image into Illustrator. You've watched the previous video. You have your image embedded. And if you're not able to find that embed, you need to make sure Control is checked under your window frame, because that's what happens if embed is not evident in the window. I want to show you really quick how to flip your image, because you should not be working upside down when you start inking. You want to make sure both of your images are unlocked, both of your layers. With the black arrow, you're going to click and drag, and you want to include my numbers that I've already populated in there for you, just the numbers, not the text. You go to the outside of the frame and you look for the little smiley face arrow. You hold Shift and you click and rotate it around. And now your image, you can work on the upside down parts. To put it back to normal, same thing. You select all of it with the numbers. You hold Shift and you click. Release the click, release Shift, and now your image is back to normal. I'm going to lock my layers. I'm making a new layer and I'm double clicking and calling it inking. I have to make my own brush. So I go to Window Brushes. I go to the new brush window, and sometimes it may remember your brushes. So here it remembers the brush I made the other day. Okay, it's called Zine brush number 1. If you hover over, it says your brush name, so you may not have to make a new one. So new window, call a graphic brush. Okay, I'm going to call this one Zine brush number 2, since I already made a number 1. Angle is fixed, but I'm going to change my angle just a little. My roundness is fixed and my size is on pressure. And I change that to 9 to equal this point number over here. And I hit OK. And now when you hover over it, it should automatically select it. Okay, so there I have my brush. Double click on my brush on the toolbar. Make sure Keep Selected and Fill New Brush Strokes are unchecked. We only want Edit Selected Paths on. And I moved my smoothness down. And then you hit OK. I'm going to really zoom in, and I'm just going to do part of this leg so I can get through and show you how to clean up the inking. So you are inking your entire zine. I'm going to make my brush smaller. Remember, it's the brackets to the right of the letter P. And this is inking in brown. I'm not going to worry about changing that fill color, because this is just for demonstration, but you want to ink in black. Okay, so I'm inking all of this. I'm going to go ahead and cross over here just so I can show you quickly how to clean that up. And there I can see my line didn't overlap fully, so I can fix that. There's the neck. Here's part of the head. Okay, and I'll just stop here. I'll Command Z that. Okay, so remember, when you are done inking the entire zine, that's when you will select it all with the black arrow, and you'll hold Alt Option and click and drag the whole entire zine off to the far right of your artboard, so you have a copy just in case. Okay, so I select the entire zine with the black arrow. I go to Object, Expand Appearance, Object, Live Paint, Make, could you please repeat it? Object, Live Paint, Expand, and then Object, Ungroup. And you may have to ungroup a few times. Okay, so there I did it 2 times. Now I know it's completely ungrouped because it's grayed out. White arrow, click on my artboard. I'm going to zoom in, and then I just select these paths that are overlapping and I delete them. Okay, so you will have to clean up the entire zine. So today what you should get to is your inking and cleaning up all of your paths. Okay, then when you're done with that, you're going to select the entire inking layer, click and drag, Object, Live Paint, and Make. Click outside the artboard to deselect, Window, Color, change it to RGB. It might default to CMYK. So if it does, then you just hit the flyout and you go to RGB. I always start with a color, and then I can adjust it here. Okay, K to hit on my toolbar, and I just drop the color in. Okay, maybe I want this color darker, then I just place it back over. Okay, do a hot pink here so you can see the difference. So you will know a shape is closed off. This shape is not closed off because I don't have a bounding box around it. Okay, so one thing you can do is you can use the rectangle tool, and you would want to do this in the beginning. Make sure you turn the fill off, and you're just going to trace around that box. And then you can increase the stroke. And now you have a bounding box. Okay? This should get done today in class, inking and cleaning up your inking. I'm not expecting you to get to color today.